OntarioLoval.com here at the Canadian Motorsport Expo, sitting with Ken Pelkie, the man behind all the scheduling, the promotions going on at the Ohsweken Speedway. The season ended in September, but your season basically goes 365 days a year.
364. We take Christmas off, Greg, but that's about it. Yeah, we've been pretty busy.
Now you go down to shows like PRI and down to Indy and shows like that to help spread the word, gain sponsorship throughout the winter months. Takes a lot of preparation. Maybe the fans don't realize how much work goes in behind drawing in those sponsors.
We're doing a pretty good job in educating them with that, Greg. When we first started doing this several years ago, Ohsweken hadn't done anything like that, and most people didn't know where the track even was. So it's on the map now. You go down to a show like the Indy show this year, and you go and approach a sponsor down there, and they've all heard about us. So they're interested in talking to us now.
Now, part of getting the season ready is also getting the schedule together, and that could be a nightmare, arranging when you're going to get touring clubs in and so on and so forth. But you've got a really good action-packed schedule for 2011. Describe some of the big events that you're looking forward to.
Well, we're pretty happy with what we put together, Greg. Our two main shows, the World of Outlaws, we kind of have that set before they leave the previous year. As far as the Canadian Nationals go, that's a set weekend. So we build the schedule around that. We know we're going to open on May 2-4 weekend, and we know we're going to end up with the Nationals. And we added a date in October. People seem to be really into these demolition derbies and crash fests, so we've got our own monster mash coming up. It's going to be a day of destruction, and we intend to destroy a bunch of stuff out there. But that's going to be a kind of an add-on, and hope everybody comes out and enjoys that one. But other than that, our regular program is not a regular program, as you well know, being the announcer out there. There's something going on every week. Our Core Pack Sprint division, it's our backbone, and it's still growing. I've learned of a couple of new cars that are coming out with us this year. I don't think we're going to lose anybody. So I'm anticipating a 30-car field on a regular basis. Thunder stocks are growing, our mini stocks are growing, the bomber guys are moving up into those divisions, and I can't see anything but growth in the bomber division. So we should have a pretty good season on a regular basis. One of the other things we put together this year is our Northern Summer Nationals. It was a standalone show the last couple of years, quite successful, and we basically run it as an affiliate show with the other sanctioning groups, Southern Ontario Sprints, Patriot Sprint Tour now, and the Sprints on Dirt out of Michigan. We've brought them all together for a 4-race series, 2 at our place and 2 at South Buxton. Good money. It's a $60,000 overall purse spread out over those 4 dates. Qualifying procedures quite attractive, and got a point fund coming together. We added $2,500 to it yesterday. Jones Brown Insurance come on, and they're going to share the title sponsorship of it. We're still trying to finalize that other $2,500. We'd like a $5,000 point fund, so it's pretty attractive. And the other piece is the overall point champion will be guaranteed a starting spot in the Canadian Nationals this year. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm anxious to see how it turns out.
That's big news that came out over the winter months, and you look at Ohsweken Speedway, a track that went to full-time sprint cars, and in the Northeast some tracks have tried it and it didn't work. But Ohsweken was patient, and in year 3 that patience seemed to pay off at the gate. The crowds seemed to really increase in that 3rd year. Car counts are up. The competition in the past season was phenomenal, to say the least. You had to be pleased that the patience now is starting to pay off, and you're starting to see some fruit from all the labor.
Well, it's rewarding. We went into this thing with a 5-year plan. We knew it would work. Of course, that was the confidence we had anyway trying it. But we also didn't believe that it would have the success that it had in year 3. We figured we'd be in around that 20 to 24 mark and struggle there for a while until people were sure that we were going to stick to it. Glenn is pretty firm with it now. He's made the announcement that sprint cars are it for Ohsweken for the foreseeable future, and I have no reason to doubt him. The growth is there. He goes all over, as people know, and everywhere he goes, people talk to him about Ohsweken Speedway before he even has a chance to bring it up. So as long as that can continue to happen, he's happy. If he's happy, we're all happy. So.
Yeah. Now, obviously, everyone knows about the World of Outlaws, and it's a big show. It draws people from all around. But the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, and last year, that show was a big success as well. For those fans that haven't been to that show, maybe they come to the Outlaws, explain maybe a bit of the history in the event and the importance of it, because really it's become one of the premier events in the Northeast, not just in Ontario, but in the Northeast. It's really one of the best kept secrets to some of the fans that don't know about it.
Well, Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, I'm going to blow my own horn here. I'm sorry, I don't like to do that, but we were involved with the Southern Ontario Sprints as photographers, and thank you to those people that got that going in this area. They just proved to us that sprint car racing was a viable option. What we seen though was their championship race was traditionally held at Ohsweken, and it wasn't getting the notoriety that it could get. The other clubs' point chases were done. The cars were sitting around. At that time, 360 racing pretty well died after Labor Day. So people were looking for a place to go and race. The Southern Ontario Sprints didn't seem to really want a lot of outside people coming in to race for what they considered their big money at the end of the year. And I fully understand that. But as promoters of Ohsweken Speedway, we've seen the opportunity to make that into a big event. Mainly because of what I've said before, everybody else not having an opportunity to race anywhere. So we talked, and it's 7-8 years ago now, we had a meeting with a group of 360 promoters in Syracuse at the Parts Peddlers Show. Tom Schmay from the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame headed it up and helped us through that. And out of there, we offered them a date to run the first Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Put a set of common rules together that basically blended all of the Northeast sprint car rules into one package, and when it was all said and done, it pretty well mirrored what the ASCS group, that is the largest 360 organization in the United States, basically mirrored their rules package. So we come up with a format, announced a purse that was fairly substantial, and made some pretty stout commitments, and that was to stick to this thing and grow it by adding at least $1,000 a year to the purse, and do that continuously. We've stuck to that, but we've done more than that. We've added about $5,000 a year to the purse and blended it all back through. We now have commitments from 5 organizations, ranging from Ohio right through to the East Coast, and we've averaged about 72 cars over the 6-year history. Last year was our lowest count. We had 64, but they were quality cars. And I anticipated that. Once you hit the 10,000 to win, that's usually what happens, is the field starts to back off a little bit, because the hot dogs are coming in now trying to steal your money. So this year we're up to 11,000. We've increased the starting field to 30 cars. We run 35 laps now, which is unheard of for a 360 sprint car. Did it last year for the first time, and I believe it was probably one of the best features I've seen anywhere. And again, I'm prejudiced about that, but it was a whale of a show. 3 hours and 20 minutes, I believe, start to finish. People were out in good time and happy, and the guys all went home with a wad of money in their pocket. Even the guys that didn't qualify were happy. You know, I had Todd Hoddick contact me after, out of Buffalo area, and Todd says it's the first time I've never qualified for an A main, paid my expenses, and gone home with $400 in my pocket. So it's worked out well for them. Consequently, and I'm getting long-winded here, I'm sorry, but consequently the fan base has also grew with that show. And the word's out, the teams are doing a whale of a job of promoting it for us. Of course, we do a lot of work with it as well, but once you can keep the race teams happy, their families and their fans happy, they spread the word for you. And it really really does help. And yeah, it's been a best kept secret in Ontario, but the word's getting out now. We're pretty well known when you get down in the States.
Now, the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, the big event, that comes at the end of the season, but the regular season starts in May, the long weekend in May. And if you want to come out to a regular Friday night show, affordable, it's a family entertainment. Maybe expand on that, on why a family maybe that's never been there would want to come out to Ohsweken on a Friday night.
Where else can you go and get 2.5, 3 hours of entertainment? Mom, dad, and I don't care if you've got a dozen kids, if they're under 12 years old, it costs you $20 for the whole family. We still have $1.50 hot dogs and $3.50 cheeseburgers. Very reasonable. The stands are clean. It's a family show. We got a junior fan club out there. The kids all come home with something every week, and it's just nonstop action once the first green flag falls till the checkered flag.
All right, that's Ken Pelkie from Ohsweken Speedway. Check them out online, ohswekenspeedway.com. Again, Ken Pelkie from Ohsweken Speedway sitting in with us. My name's Greg Kellnan for OntarioLoval.com.